Hello, my name is Dave Jarima. I have been working with StonTalks for 8.5 years. I am currently a product engineer too, and my expertise with StonTalks is our broadcast systems. So when your installer is cutting joints, that means that they are completely finished with our product installation and need to take on the last step, which is honoring all joints that could expect some potential movement. And that helps limit the cracking in our systems and also assists with repairs if they are needed. So typically, to calculate the space between joints, you use the slab thickness itself. For example, if the slab was 4 inches thick, you would need to convert that to feet and multiply by 24 or 36. In this case, the joints need to be between 8 and 12 feet. Okay, so there are 4 types of concrete joints. The first is a construction joint, and that's the gap between 2 slabs if the installer couldn't get all of the concrete done in a single day. The second would be an isolation joint, which goes around a concrete column or an equipment leg, and that's to limit the potential movement from the weight being dropped down on the column or the vibration of the equipment leg. The third is an expansion joint, which is to limit the potential movement due to temperature changes of the slab itself. And the fourth is a control joint, and that is put in place in the concrete during installation, so when the concrete does crack, it cracks along those lines. So for that same example, the 4-inch slab, it can be a maximum of 12 feet length and width. So first you need to figure out whether the control joint is going to have expected movement. If it does have expected movement, you want to treat and honor that joint as it is an expansion joint. If it doesn't have expected movement, you want to pre-fill it in for liquid-rich systems, but for mortar-based systems, you want to actually cut a V-notch out of that joint and then fill it in with the mortar itself. The best way to treat an expansion joint is to cut and fill it as the last step of a product installation. For interior jobs, we can use our StoneFlex MP7 that is manufactured and maintained in-house. And for exterior jobs, we typically recommend our Dimonic 100. So you need help to better visualize how a concrete joint would look in your facility. You can contact your local territory manager, and they can send over several engineering details that give a good general idea of how it would look in your space.